was going to go right into it. I didn't have anything ready for singing.
Oh, if you don't want to...
Do you think it's better I should? Can I sing on a... Okay, microphone's on. Haribo. Okay. Yeah. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe. Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha. Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Pravishna Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privrajacharya Stotra Shada Shri Srimadabhaya Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nikhil Pravishna Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privrajacharya Stotra Shada Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Gurya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Nandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitya Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Well, welcome to Nrsimha Caturdasi class. So today we are commemorating the disappearance of Hiranyakashipu in a sense, because of course we don't know exactly when Nrsimha Dev appeared. All that we know is that at dusk time, which is when we break our fast, so that is the focal point of our celebration today, was the disappearance of Hiranyakashipu. But Nrsimha Dev is rather interesting, because of course we know in Krishna consciousness, as the name would indicate, our focal point of devotion is Krishna. And we see throughout Mahaprabhu's Leela and so on and so forth, at the most you will see respect for devotees of other incarnations of the Lord. We know Murari Gupta, when Mahaprabhu said, I am Ram, you are Hanuman. We also know about Ram Das in South India, who was so absorbed in his meditation, he would not eat out of anxiety of Sita Devi being kidnapped. And we know also of Anupama, or Vallabha, the brother of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, who could not abide by his vow to worship Radha Govinda. And then, of course, Mahaprabhu celebrated this, saying, how wonderful is that devotee who does not abandon his Lord, and how wonderful is that Lord that does not abandon his devotee. But when we see Nrsimha Dev, we see Mahaprabhu engages very strongly with him. It is more than the standard respect that is to be given to any incarnation of Vishnu. We know that, or Krishna, we know, of course, Mahaprabhu, when he would travel, he would see, just before the Rai Ramananda Samvad, he visited a Nrsimha temple, and he said this wonderful, wonderful text, Jai Nrsimha, Shri Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma, Bhringa. This is a wonderful prayer, speaking of Praladesha, that great lord of Pralad, who was constantly like a bumblebee engaging the face of Lakshmi Devi. So we see there is some importance given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And furthermore, there's another pastime of Srivas. Srivas was worshipping at home, Nrsimha Dev, one day, and Mahaprabhu was out walking, and he saw these wonderful cows playing around, and sometimes they would run about. And in this moment, he got hit by a moment of ecstasy, and he came running towards Srivas's house, and banging on his door, he was saying, I am he, I am he. But of course, Srivas was absorbed in his meditation, worshipping Nrsimha Dev so nicely as a devotee. And he was so immersed then, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu burst open the door, he crashed it open, and then he said in taking the form of the Virasana, which in yoga is the asana of the hero. It's with the two knees placed on the ground and the chest puffed out like that. It's the Vira asana. And he took that form, and he broke Srivas out of his meditation. He was saying, that Lord you are trying to worship, he is none other than me. And radiating like a brilliant, beautiful fire, he beat his left shoulder with the palm of his hand. And Srivas realized then that that original personality from whom Nrsimha Dev comes out from was before him. So then we see there is a rather large significance given. And then furthermore, we can look in the Bhagavatam itself. The Bhagavatam is Amalam Puranam, it is Vaishnavanam Priyam, it is the favorite of the Vaishnavas, it is the highest and spotless Purana. It has everything that we need. And we see accordingly, a lot of attention is given to Krishna. Around a quarter, verse-wise, of the Bhagavatam is dedicated to Krishna. A little more, actually, I think. And we will see that Ramchandra, he gets, a chapter in the 9th canto. Varahadev gets a few in 3rd canto, so on and so forth. The many avatars are there and glorified, and so on and so forth. But when we look at what Nrsimha Dev gets, well, Nrsimha Dev directly gets half of the 7th canto, and then by the implications of his Leela, gets the whole thing. And then if we want to go even further into his into the sort of backstory or the preparation for that pastime, we can even give certain sections of the 3rd canto. So then, there seems to be a lot of attention given to Nrsimha Dev. But why? Why such a prominent role? Again, we are asked to have such a focal attention to Radha Govinda, to Radha Krishna. They are to be the goal of ours. So, to understand this, we can maybe talk a little about the pastime itself. So, Nrsimha Dev, as we know, he manifests during the time of Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu, due to great austerities, had pleased Brahma with a great boon that he would not be killed at day or night. We know it, that half animal, half human, so on and so forth, by any weapon, by any being created by Brahma, like this. Because of course, Brahma is not immortal. You can't give what you do not have. So he could not give immortality to Hiranyakashipu, even though that was his heart's desire. So Hiranyakashipu was given at least this boon,
just to sit and
immunity
chant.
to these things.
And at the end of the day, whatever
because he
little
was
food
worried.
that came
He
on
was
its own
thinking,
accord
well,
from Simhadwara.
I don't want to be killed by human-like form because Vishnu is fond of those. But then my brother Hiranyaksha, he got taken out by a boar-like form, so an animal itself. That would be rather scary. But even if I was immune to those two, then surely Vishnu has his great chakras and he could just launch a weapon out and take me out. So he wished for immunity for all of those. And then of course he thought, well, the implication is if it's neither day or night, then it's no time. And if it's neither on land or in sky, then it's nowhere. So he thought himself very intelligent. But we know, again, this is a very famous and beloved pastime. Whenever the ploys of the demons are there to do all of the terrible things that they wish to do, all of the things that they wish to exploit, all the many plans they have to lord it over creation, Krishna is always 2 steps ahead in some way or another. So in the womb of Kayadhu, Hiranyakashipu's wife, is the plan that the Supreme Lord has given to circumvent this. Prahlad Maharaj is being, he is in the womb. And in fact, at the time of the tapasya, building up to this great boon, the great austerities that Hiranyakashipu performs, she is kidnapped by all the demigods. And then, of course, Narad Muni arrives and he says, what are you doing? This is another man's wife. You are stooping on such a low level, kidnapping her. Let me take her. And then, of course, he takes her. And then, of course, here we have the plan is brewing. And so, as the plan is brewing, Narad Muni, he begins to describe the Krishna Katha, which, of course, Kayadhu later forgets for 2 reasons, but I'll only mention one, that because of the long passage of time. And she forgets this knowledge. But Prahlad, in her womb, he does not. And this is also something of an indicative lesson on the nature of how one should receive knowledge from the Guru. It is not to be taken brashly, it is rather to be taken in a childlike form. In that way we can truly imbibe the teachings with humility and simplicity. Prahlad Maharaj was just a simple child in the womb, and therefore, of course, by Narad's blessing, but also because of this, he was able to take it. We do not approach spiritual teachers with pride or assumptions that we know anything. Functionally, without spiritual knowledge, we know practically nothing. So with such simplicity, if one hears, one will learn. And so Prahlad Maharaj did learn. And he learned very nicely. And then, of course, he was born, and he obviously had many other brothers. Samlad, Anulad, Lad, and then Prahlad. There's a bit of a recurring theme. And then he had a sister as well, who would go on to be the mother of Rahu. So as we can see, very auspicious family he's having. There's again a recurring theme in this family. But again, by the grace of the devotee, Prahlad had some knowledge, some understanding. And then we know rather famously, Hiranyakashipu, he asked for his son, he asked him on his lap, and he asked him to teach. What have you been learning in school? With affection, as is often done by parents. They like to see. So often Prabhupada would sometimes sit in his disciples' classes. It is sweet to see in such moods. So, in such a mood, Hiranyakashipu, he asked Prahlad, he said, what have you learned? As we know, Prahlad Maharaj, he speaks, Krishna Megatir, he speaks rather strongly about chastising the demonic way of life. And Hiranyakashipu is very disturbed, and he begins to blame, of course, the teachers, Shanda and Amarka. He begins to blame them. This being Satya Yuga, even the demons had some honesty, so he believed them when they said, we did not say this. We did not teach this thing. But he asked because he was asking, what have you learned? And learning implies a guru. Learning implies a teacher. How could Prahlad Maharaj repeat what he has learned in school as being teaching? How could we know later on, after Prahlad Maharaj instructs his schoolmates, they say, we have had no guru but you or Chandana Marka. So quite clearly they were given a role of a guru. But we know Jiva Goswami has described that there are two types of guru. There's the Paramarthik Guru, which is what we normally think of when we think of Guru. He is giving the absolute final conclusion of spiritual truth. This is like Narad Muni. But we will meet many gurus, many instructors in our life. And the other type, is secondary, or rather, he will teach many material things maybe. In Krishna Lila, the analogy that is given is Garga Muni is like that secondary guru who is explaining many things about astrology and Varnashram. But Sandipani Muni, he is giving great transcendental knowledge. So this is an example. And Jiva Goswami makes this point because he says when one looks at that famous verse, Acharya Mam, where Krishna identifies himself with the Acharya, the context of that is not actually a fully spiritual discourse. It is discussing the role of the brahmachari, and again in the varnashram sense. So, if that is then glorifying what would be in some sense a mundane teacher, then surely these glories must also apply to them. How then so? Well, Jiva Goswami says, in a sense it is like a spectrum. As that secondary guru builds up to the conclusions of the Paramarthik Guru, he is to be considered a manifestation of that Guru Tattva. Because he's giving those conclusions. This principle of respect, of teaching, of respect to those who are teaching, to respect to elders, is actually meant to pass around everywhere. But when that secondary guru, when he is not teaching the things that of the final conclusion, the Parama-arthik conclusions, those of the highest value, when he is not teaching in line with those, then he is to be considered to not be playing the role of the guru. It is here and not there. When he is violating the conclusions, the Paramarthik conclusions, then it is to be considered he is not properly playing the role of the guru. But when he is giving those conclusions, then his conclusions are to be considered to come from the spiritual master. However, Prahlad Maharaj was being asked in the court of Hiranyakashipu, and he's being asked, what were you taught? And their conclusions were not in line with the Paramarthik Guru. Their conclusions that he was being taught in school were not in line with the supreme truth that Narad Muni had instructed him in the womb. And so how could he repeat them? The devotee is fearless. We should understand. What do they have to worry? Prahlad Maharaj so wonderfully embodies that central quality of spiritual life, Sharanagati. And what do we know? Sharanagati is defined with 6 different elements, but he most especially embodies Rakshishyati Vishvasaha and Goptritve Varanam. These two, to have a strong confidence in the protection of the Supreme Lord and to have an acceptance of him as one's guardian, father, teacher, protector, like this. So Prahlad Maharaj embodied these 2 elements of Sharanagati. And in fearlessness then, not worrying about any other conclusion, absorbed as he was again in the Paramarthik conclusion, the conclusion of highest value of all spiritual teaching, Prahlad Maharaj, he speaks not what he has been taught in school, but what he has learnt. So he speaks, and from this we can learn something of Guru Tattva. It is not that everything we are taught is true, but everything that is true we must be taught, if that makes sense. So, of course, he continues like this, and Hiranyakashipu becomes more and more enraged, and he is not very happy. And as we know, Prahlad Maharaj gets thrown under the feet of elephants with many snakes. There are illusory tricks played on him, some deadly magic performed, thrown off the highest of cliffs, starved, all sorts of tortures. And again, Prahlad Maharaj, he stayed absorbed in the Supreme Lord. And again, he had that, we read in Nectar of Instruction, that there must be confidence and there must also be perseverance. These are 2 of the 6, the Shadbhi Bhakti Prasiddhyati, the 6 things which are so favorable to our devotional service. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was manifesting these, he was showing these with confidence that he will be fine, and with endurance of all his sufferings. He did not turn around and think, why is Krishna doing this to me? Because of course he was a Krishna devotee. It is not that, as we will later find out, when Nrsimhadev appears, even though he is having a relationship with Nrsimhadev, it is not that he is his Ishtadev, his preferred deity was Nrsimhadev. In fact, Krishna was. We read in Bhagavatam, Krishna grata grihitatma. This is, he is absorbed always in Krishna consciousness, not in Nrsimha consciousness. And in fact, in the first canto, when the glories of Parikshit Maharaj were given, it is said that he was a great devotee of Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee of Krishna. So he's having this great trust in him, and he's having a great perseverance, and he's not turning around worried. So then, afterwards, as we know, all of these things are not working, and Hiranyakashipu, he has Prahlad come back, and he tells him, unfortunately, it is the fact that when the limb becomes sickly, when the limb goes bad, you must lop it off. And so you, with all your devotion to this Supreme Lord, you too must be killed. He's saying like these things. And then in his anger, he turns around and he says, your Supreme Lord, you're always talking of him. I did all these things to kill you, and yet you are not dead. Where is the source of your power? And then, of course, Prahlad Maharaj says he is not just the source of my power, but he is the source of your power as well. He is the source of everyone's power. Often we see Ganesha's worshipped in many celebrations, so on and so forth. He is worshipped before everything. Why? Because he is the remover of obstacles. But actually we read in Shastra that Ganesh gets his potency purely through his worship of Nrsimhadev. Ganesh is worshipping Nrsimhadev because Nrsimhadev is Vigna Vinas. Vigna Vinasana Nrsimha. He is the destroyer of obstacles. He will remove them all. So, Ganesh, he is getting this potency from him only. So, Prahlad Maharaj is saying like this. And Hiranyakashipu, he becomes enraged. He is very angry. And he says, well, if your Supreme Lord is everywhere, then surely he is in this pillar as well. And so Hiranyakashipu goes, and as he hits it, this beautiful melodious roar, which is not so beautiful and melodious to demonic ears, but it shook through. Brahma himself thought, well, that's it. I'm done. Everything's done. It's all over. Let's pack up. Everything's done. And then, of course, we know Nrsimhadev appeared with eyes gold, like molten gold. Very beautiful. And Hiranyakashipu, then he begins, he's bewildered, and he begins to fight. Like a fly going into the flame. He was disappeared in the effulgence of Nrsimhadev. And Nrsimhadev at times would make him think that he would win, like Garuda playing with a snake. Sometimes he would let the animal think that he might survive. Just for the fun, just for the play. And the demigods watching, however, weren't in on the joke so much, and they were getting rather worried, rather concerned. Now what's going to happen? Because of course Hiranyakashipu, he was like a headache. He was like when the fever is passing through the body in every single person. Everyone was in constant worry about him. But then of course Nrsimhadev thought, the fun's done. And then at dusk, which was, as we know, neither day nor night, upon Hiranyakashipu's throne, which is neither sky nor ground, and then Nrsimhadev, who is neither man nor animal, pierces him open with no weapons, but instead his nails. And then he takes the intestines, the organs of Hiranyakashipu, and he places them around his neck. And like that, he is killed. But there are a few questions. There are a few questions to be asked sometimes here, even beyond the initial ones. What significance could Nrsimhadev have to those of us who are committed to the bhajan of Radha Krishna? The question may be said, well, Vishnu, Krishna, he's the Supreme Personality. He can do whatever he wants. Why did he need to abide by any boon? We may ask, because we will say even Krishna breaks his own word sometimes, often. So if he is willing to break his own word, why should he care for the word of others? Why would he need to care about the boon? He is supreme. But actually, we can understand this further. Because after Nrsimha Dev finishes his job of killing Hiranyakashipu, there is still some anger. Everyone is distressed. All the many beings of all the lokas, they're singing many songs in glorification. Pitri Loka, Siddha Loka, Gandharva Loka. Indra Dev is speaking so many sweet words, but Nrsimha Dev's anger is still there. They're showering the whole universe is showering all its glories onto Nrsimha Dev, and Nrsimha Dev is still not satisfied. So intense is this that the demigods, they speak, but they're all too afraid to confront, to go up to Nrsimha Dev, to try to appease him. Even Lakshmi Devi, they say, surely if anyone could appease him, it could be you. But she says, of all the thousands of faces of Vishnu, I do not know this one. So she was afraid as well. So then they asked Prahlad Maharaj, and even though he was a small boy, he was a devotee. The anger of Krishna, while being the source of all fear for the non-devotees, is the greatest shelter for all the devotees. That same wrath, in the Bible it said, Saint Paul, he writes, he said, if God is for us, then who can be against us? That is that comforting truth, that the anger of Bhagavan that we find in the Nrsimha Dev. Nrsimha Dev is said to be the manifest chakra of Krishna. In some shastras, that anger, that violence, it is our shelter of safety. Again, Sharanagati, to take the shelter in the Nrsimha Dev. So Prahlad Maharaj, with this mood, again here we find Goptritve so strongly. He is accepting him as his protector, and therefore he goes. And with all these glorifications that were being spoken by all the universe, all of these great words that would be so pleasing to so many, which did not even slightly pacify Nrsimha Dev, the simple approach of a small boy born in a demon family, again suddenly Nrsimha Dev's anger was quenched. Because the shelter of the devotee is Krishna. But what is the shelter of Krishna? What is the shelter of the Supreme Lord? It is the devotee themselves. There is Sharanagati in the pure devotee for Krishna. And in Krishna there is Sharanagati in the pure devotee. So being approached by this devotee, this anger was quelled, was quenched. It was gone. And so he was pleased. And then, of course, we know he placed his hand on Bhakta Prahlad, and all of his, all apparent material conceptions were gone, and bhakti was bestowed upon him. But here we can understand, why did he need to appear like this? Srila Prabhupada quotes in purport on Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, which then go on very beautifully and take up a significant fraction of the 7th canto. He says in his purport that functionally Krishna doesn't need to do anything. He has so many unlimited potencies by which he may achieve any goal of his. There is no goal that he himself needs to do. So why then does he appear as himself? And Nrsimha Dev is. It is said in the Padma Purana, Nrsimha Rama Krishneshu Shad Gunyam Paripuritam Paravastastu Te Tasya Dipad Utpana Dipavat. It is said that of all the avatars of Krishna, 3 are considered Paravasta, of utmost value. One of them is Krishna himself, the avatari. The other one is Ram, and the other one is Nrsimha. And why are they the utmost? Because these 3 only have the 6 opulences in full. So these 3 have the 6 opulences. Krishna is showing them the most, Rama is having them all, but showing them a little less, and Nrsimha is also having them all in fullness, but showing them a little less so. And how are they like this? Because Rama and Nrsimha are like lamps being lit off the fire of Krishna. They are the lamps which most fully capture that flame of the 6 beautiful opulences coming forth. So Nrsimha, he is Krishna himself. So why then did he feel the need to appear half man, half lion? Why didn't he just kill in any other way? Because Krishna appears, he appears, when he does appear, he appears not to do anything. He doesn't actually appear for any purpose. That is why his Shaktis exist. He can empower someone if he wants something done. He appears for himself for his devotees, and for his devotees alone. And if he appears for his devotees, because by his Shakti he cannot please the devotee who he has taken shelter in, because the devotee doesn't want to see any more Mayas. They've had enough of those, except for Yoga Maya, of course. They've had enough of those, but they can only be pleased by seeing that personality, the Shaktiman himself. And so he appears. But if he is appearing for the devotee, then he should appear according to the words of the devotee, because he is appearing to please the devotee. So, Bhagavan Nrsimha appears to please three, many more as well, but three in particular. He is there to please Narad Muni's words, who spoke earlier when he rescued Prahlad Maharaj in the womb, who spoke of the glories of him as a devotee. So he appeared to make sure that those words would be fulfilled. He appeared to fulfill the words then of Brahma, because Brahma is a devotee of Krishna. And because Brahma gave that word, that you will not be killed in any of these ways, then Krishna now is bound. Krishna is able to do anything, but he gives that right away to the devotee who has purchased him with love. And then finally he appears to please not Prahlad Maharaj to protect him. He doesn't appear to protect Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj does not have this worry, does not have this concern. He appears to fulfill the words of Prahlad Maharaj that yes, my Supreme Lord is everywhere. Nrsimha Dev appears entirely. His whole manifestation is to show again, not just the glories of the devotee, not just his own glories, but the glories of the devotees. Not just to show the perseverance of Prahlad, but because he must. We say, Ishvaraha Parama Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha. We know the beginning of the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita, that Krishna is Ishvara Parama. He is the highest Ishvar. And this one sense is true, but in the other sense it is not true. The highest principle is bhakti. Bhakti itself completely takes the hearts of the devotees, but it takes Krishna's heart as well. We find this in Nrsimha Leela. So then we find, with this love, surely there will be anger. It is not loving for a parent to see their child being beaten and then say, well, I respect the person beating my child as well. That anger will be there as well. So this anger comes and it destroys all the many obstacles for the devotee. And this is why the devotee may have that confidence and that perseverance that Rupa Goswami mentions in his Nectar of Instruction. He has this confidence because he knows that no matter what problem I have in my life, Nrsimha Dev will get rid of it. Any problem, any obstacle which comes in our path, which comes in our way, is to be destroyed. But then we might say we still find some obstacles. We still find some things. Well, Nrsimha Dev, if he is destroying all the obstacles before us, then what he has left are his remnants. We should think of the obstacles in our life, in our spiritual life especially, to be nothing but the prasadam, the mercy. Everything is mercy. Everything is constantly mercy. All of the obstacles, all of the issues, they are all merely the remnants of Nrsimha Dev's protective work. But then we will think, what are those obstacles? And so often we like to say, I am like Prahlad Maharaj, and this person, he is getting in my way. He is like Hiranyakashipu. Nrsimha Dev, he will help me. Like this. All of our problems are outside us. All of our problems, all of our problems, we are the perfect Prahlad Maharaj. And all of our other problems, they are the Hiranyakashipus. They are the demons. But what do we know of Kali Yuga? We know that if Krishna were to come to kill the demons in the way he normally does, there would be very, very, very few people left. Instead, the cleansing work is to kill the demonic tendencies in all of us. And practically speaking, we are not Prahlad Maharaj. We are aspiring to be like Prahlad Maharaj. But practically speaking, in many ways, we are closer to Hiranyakashipu. Why? Because Hiranyakashipu was that great obstacle to devotion. And the greatest obstacle to devotion is within us. All the anarthas. We know Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and this is now coming to why do Gauriya Vaishnavas, why do we, who are so focused on Radha Krishna, why do we place such a central role for Nrsimha Dev? Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a beautiful bhajan, and I was going to read it out, but I think I will not be having time. So maybe at the end I will. But he wrote a beautiful bhajan explaining the beauty of Nrsimha Dev. And he says that fury, that anger, which is so scary to the demons, is so beautiful to the devotees. And then he says, "Oh Nrsimha Dev, please come and wipe out those anarthas, those 6 lashes of the mind which are headed by lust. Kama, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, so on and so forth. And as well, Kutinati, that desire to criticize, and Pratishtasha, that desire for fame. Nrsimha Dev, come kill these things. Don't kill those people who are obstructing an issue I'm having with my life. What is the point of that? Srila Prabhupada, we do Nrsimha Arati every day in ISKCON. This was, in Lilamrita we read, this was begun when Srila Prabhupada was he was manifesting pastimes of some health issues. But what did Srila Prabhupada say? Srila Prabhupada didn't say, worship Nrsimha Dev so that Srila Prabhupada may live a long life, that Srila Prabhupada may live without any obstacles. He said, pray to Nrsimha Dev that my spiritual master may be able to complete the desire of his spiritual master and Krishna. That is the purpose of worshipping Nrsimha Dev. So why? We should beg for that Hiranyakashipu-like tendency within us to be destroyed. This is the central purification. This is the central purification of our lives, not of demonic influences outside us. Nothing stops us from progressing more than ourselves. We may think of all of the things, there is so much mercy, especially thanks to Srila Prabhupada. He has put so much effort into manifesting ISKCON all around the world. Everywhere Krishna Katha is being spoken. By Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we are constantly having his books. We are able to preach. We are having our rounds. We are having ways to chant, to engage with the Sankirtan. What stops us from engaging with these things? It is nothing but ourselves. That is the and that is the main demonic influence that we should pray be removed. We know, and then why? Why? We are not worshipping Nrsimha to cleanse the anarthas so that we may be free of anarthas. At the end, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in this bhajan, he says, do all these things so that I may be able to worship Radha Krishna Jugal. I may be able to worship them. And then we come to our central point. Nrsimha Dev is to be worshipped. Today we have, hopefully most of us fasted. We have heard some pastimes. Maybe we have done some special things to commemorate this very special day of Sri Bhagavan Nrsimha. But why do we do these things? We should always keep in mind, anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadya navrittam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama. We have no other desire other than that, to try to at least desire to please Krishna. It is not that we are, again, Prahlad Maharaj his Ishtadev is Krishna. We are doing these things so that we may better please Krishna, that we may be purified to serve him. And Nrsimha Dev, he is Bhakti Vigna Vinasana. He is destroying all the obstacles on the Bhakti Marg, on the path of devotion. So who better then to worship than him to help achieve that goal? This is why we find him being so central. Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he would have these shilas. He did not have his own deity, not his own deity in murti form. And on one Nrsimha Caturdasi, he was being gifted by many sadhus, because Nrsimha Caturdasi is a very, very important day to observe. Prahlad Maharaj himself gained the qualification to be born as Prahlad Maharaj from inadvertently observing Nrsimha Caturdasi in a previous lifetime. Brahma gets the potency in order to create the material world from observing Nrsimha Caturdasi, and Shiva gets the potency to undo that work by observing Nrsimha Caturdasi. There's lots of piety in this day. It is eternal. And so many people were gifting Gopal Bhatta Goswami many beautiful pieces of jewelry. They were saying, here, you can decorate your deity with these, and jewelry and clothes and all, because it is such a pious day and we should be giving gifts to the devotees. This is one of the great exchanges of bhakti, and what better than such a pious day to do so. So they were doing like this. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he was weeping. He was saying, I do not have. He was worshipping all these beautiful shilas. But then he thought, tonight, This is the night of Nrsimha Caturdasi, and he was praying to them fervently. Praying, he was saying, in the same way that to please Prahlad, please Prahlad Maharaj, Nrsimha Dev appeared from rock. Please, 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 from these shilas, can there be a form that I may decorate the arms, that I may decorate the legs, that I may put all these beautiful jewelries I have received, that I may do some service. And then, of course, in the next day is the appearance day of Radharaman, the most beautiful murti. And we know the Radharaman, from the feet to the waist, is like Madan Mohan. And then from the torso and the body is like Gopinath. And the face is like Govindaji. These are the deities presiding over Sambandha Abhidheya Prayojana. Here we find again, Nrsimha Dev is worshipped because he is giving the fullness of Krishna, the fullness of spiritual life. So, on that note, I had some more, but I'm going over time. So, I will wrap up. So to keep this in mind, there was a sweet pastime Rupa Goswami describes in his Padyavali. He describes this, because we must stay absorbed in Krishna. That is when Nrsimha Dev comes to give. Hiranyakashipu became liberated when he became Shishupal. Why? Because as Hiranyakashipu, he did not realize he was meditating on Vishnu. He saw him, but then he went on to become Ravan. And then after Ravan, he became Shishupal. Absorption in Krishna, that is the way that this liberation is achieved. Even not by being killed. It is actually the absorption. Because, in fact, and if it took so long to cultivate this absorption in hatred, Krishna consciousness is not such an easy thing. It is not such a cheap thing. It is straightforward, it is merciful, but it is not cheap. It took him 3 lifetimes in hatred to achieve Krishna consciousness. So this is a very valuable thing. It is a long-term project, and we should put our time into it very effectively. But so there is this pastime. Because sometimes Krishna, he would be afraid to sleep. So many demons are coming to kill me. They're all coming to kill me, and I'm afraid. And he would be afraid, and he wouldn't be able to sleep. And Jashoda Ma, filled with her Vatsalya Ras, she would feel maternal and worried, and she would think, how can I please him? And then she thinks, of course. You are afraid of all these demons, but I'll tell you of the most powerful demon to have ever lived. His name was Hiranyakashipu. And she says like this, she says all the pastimes, Hiranyakashipu, how he tormented Prahlad and did all these things. And then at the very end, Nrsimha Dev came, and at the very moment where Jashoda Ma describes Nrsimha Dev tearing open the chest and killing Hiranyakashipu, Krishna begins to sleep. Because his fear is gone. Krishna knows in his heart that if any demon comes, no matter how scary they are, Nrsimha Dev will save him. So, on this day, let us try to meditate on Sri Krishna, but with a mind purified by the mercy of Nrsimha Dev, and pray to him, not that we may get any protection, or any material prosperity, or anything else other than service to the spiritual master and to Radha Krishna. Bhakta Prahlada ki jai, Nrsimha Caturdasi ki jai, Shri Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai.